And so she blinked.
The government will formally withdraw the bill in order to fully allay public concerns.
Withdrawal of the extradition bill. That is precisely what Hong Kongers first begged to hear months ago. But their chief executive, Carrie Lam, wasn't listening then. In the face of protests, she initially suspended the bill. Not good enough. They kept coming out. Because a bill which could bypass Hong Kong's legal system, leaving residents vulnerable to extradition if Beijing wanted it, wasn't tolerable. Over the summer, it came to this. Raucous rage. And such heavy-handed responses from police, protesters started demanding an independent inquiry into police behavior. She didn't offer them one today, so no, the fury isn't gone. Bonnie Leung is one of the organizers of the biggest demonstrations this summer. Shortly after today's announcement, every online chat she read suggested this isn't finished.
If we just ditch the movement, if we just go home and try to live our life, there is no normal life to resume to. We already passed the point of no return because what's in front of us is the police having absolute power. They break the laws with no consequences. If we just stop chanting slogans about independent inquiry, it means that this absolute power, absolute corruption will still exist in Hong Kong, and we cannot live in a society just like that.
So the fight gets a new framework. Lam, and presumably Beijing, which is in control, tell the world anything that happens now is the fault of the protesters. They got their wish, now they're pushing it.
The ongoing protests can be likened to an infectious disease spreading across the city and poisoning the minds of many young people.
There are some in Hong Kong who are fed up with the damage from the protests and believe this should end the conflict. Residents are raged by rioters, this political organizer says, because they're destroying our home. Just hours after Carrie Lam's announcement, the angry were back at it, hurling insults and lasers at a police station, and already there are vows to reoccupy the airport, a move designed to tell the world Hong Kong wants more.
And so, Adrian, let me ask you perhaps the obvious question here. Why do you think Carrie Lam chose now, after all of this time, to scrap the extradition?
Well, I guess, Andrew, it's really becoming pretty clear that it is Beijing that makes all these decisions, not Carrie Lam. And Beijing doesn't want that much trouble so close to the 70th anniversary of the People's Republic of China. It needs calm and will like the looks of the jump in the stock market on the news that the bill is gone. And I guess we have to consider the bigger interest too, that trade war with the United States. Donald Trump tweeted a few weeks ago that maybe there was a better deal to be had for China if tensions were sorted in Hong Kong. It's possible that might have been a good incentive.
So going forward, what are some of the signals that you think we should be watching for on this story?
Well, I guess the number and tone of any future rallies, whether those who take to the streets stay focused, stay united, whether their goals are clear. One curiosity might be what happens on mainland China. There have been weeks of really harsh comments about the protesters in Hong Kong. But now, on the face of it, it looks like they got what they wanted. So you're starting to see a few comments in China reportedly appearing asking, well, if they can get what they want from protesting, what about us? And so, Andrew, for China, that could be a really uncomfortable question. So basically, look for unity, look for turnout, look for what happens with the hardcore protesters. Look to gauge the threats that are less explicit or more explicit. That's a sense of what we'll be looking for in the weeks ahead.
All right, Adrian.